Welcome to Chatter Gang, pod about the magic and the gathering. I'm your host, Hope Beacon. You can also call me Jose. And today we have someone that would contend with Karn that there's more than just one metal planeswalker. If you give him a pick, a microphone, and a guitar, Metalcraft is active. And honestly, it's one of the best things I've heard around. Jason Ashcraft, thank you for joining us.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. What a nice intro. Glad to be
Yeah.
here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, I find your stuff fascinating, by the way. I just have to tell you that because I love metal, I love magic, and you combine the two so well. So I know just I know that you started your journey with Can I Play with Magic in 22. I know you started your stuff with the band, the Planeswalkers, and right before shutdown, right? Is that accurate?
Hmm?
Like that was official right before shutdown. So like talk to me about your journey there, because that starting that right before shutdown had to be like something. It had to be something, right? Like that's wild to me. So talk to me about that.
Right. So the to talk about Planeswalker, we gotta go back a little
Okay.
bit further, and my group Helion Prime, which has been my sort of main group for the last decade. But that's been
Science-based
kind of
metal. Yeah.
yeah, but that's been shifting around as things go. You got to follow where the inspiration is. And so, Sozos Michael, who is now the singer of Glory Hammer, he came on board with Helium Prime for our second album. Fantastic singer, phenomenal songwriter himself. And, we were young, we got signed to a label. As young people do, you think, well, this is it, we've done it. It's not really the case with labels these days. Sozos lives in Europe. So the short version of all this is it got a little too complicated for the size of band we were for Sozos to continue with us. We just couldn't afford it. And visas are I mean, visas are even worse now,
Mhm.
but they were even an issue back then. But I always liked Sozos. I liked working with Sozos, so I knew someday I wanted to do something again with him. And in starts my journey into Magic the Gathering, which was like 2019 when M20 was the earliest set I remember.
Oh,
And
wow.
some friends got me into it and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the lore. So the lore is what hooked me. Like the game, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I love playing the game now, obviously, but the lore is what really made me stick around. And so I wanted to start a new project with Sozos, and I was like, hey, doing something a Magic the Gathering theme band might work. Like Sozos doesn't play, funny enough, but he likes high fantasy stories and stuff. So I approached him with it and was like, hey, you want to do this thing with me? And we did it. And the thing with Planeswalker is it's very low key and it's just sort of like when we have time, when we want to do it for funsies, especially now more than ever because when we did the first Planeswalker album, he wasn't yet in Glory Hammer. And now that he is in Glory Hammer, his time is very limited to what he can
Yeah.
do, which is why here we are in 2025 and all we've put out since the first album is a single. It's just unfortunately sort of how it is, but that's okay. It's great. It's a lot of fun. And so that's sort of where Planeswalker began is I wanted something to do with Sozos and I knew it couldn't be Helium Prime. So I was like, well, this lore, there's so many, there's endless possibilities of what we could sing about within the Magic the Gathering universe. So yeah, so then we did the Tales of Magic album together
Mhm.
and here we are. And I am trying to, now like I said, fast forward 5 years, I am trying to make Planeswalker a little more active, and so figuring out how to do that with Sozos's insane schedule is tricky, but we're working on it.
Yeah. And like you said, these are things that happen, right? Like
Yeah.
time changes, schedules change, being in different let alone time zones, different countries
Yep.
can make it so difficult. But I think it's great that you were able to transition into doing Can I Play with Magic, because it feels like every part of you, right? Like I've gotten to see you in a peripheral, and I got to meet you at MagicCon, and I was so thankful for that. Like you were an amazing person. You're much taller than I thought you would be, which is also cool. But I'm also tiny, so well, height wise, and like I love metal. I love magic. You do both those things. How was actually putting that together for you for the band, and then doing it for your streaming on Twitch and doing it for Instagram and things like that, did that feel like pretty natural for you?
It actually took a while. Believe it or not, I don't like doing the social media grind.
Mhm.
Um, but unfortunately, as an artist, if you want to do art more than just a hobby, it is a necessary evil. So this is probably like in the last few weeks since Atlanta, this is probably the most I've ever done it. And I was thankful to get to talk to some really great people like Joe the Magic Gatherer,
Mhm.
MTG Demonic Tutor, Janky Casual, and just kind of talking with them just about like, oh man, I want to do these things, but some of the stuff just isn't me. It's not who I am. And they're like, fuck it, man. Oh, can we cuss on this podcast?
Yeah, for sure,
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
okay.
Either we'll beep it out or it'll stay there. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. Go
Okay.
for it.
They're like, "Whatever, man." Like, they're like, "Just be you. Just lean into you." And I was like, "You know what? Like, I love Magic. I do. I love the people and really, to be honest, not to sidestep real quick, what keeps
No
me
worries.
around is meeting people like you and the community because we can go on a whole rant. I'm not really feeling the direction of Magic these days. I'm one of those people.
Oh, that's a quite when you mentioned the in-universe storylines, trust me, that was gonna be a
Yes.
follow-up
Yeah.
here. Like, go
Eh,
but go off.
yeah, we could get into that a little later, but the point is like I've had to really think like, well, what's keeping me now? And it is the love of the game still. I still
Mhm.
love playing it. I still love meeting people in it and playing it and going to the cons. But ultimately, at the core of who I am is a musician and everything I do, I want to lead back to that. And when I was talking to these people about it, they're like, then just lean into that, like one thing I've thought about doing was the thing I started doing where like writing riffs to magic cards, but I was like, I don't know if people would be into that. Surprisingly, it's doing really well. So I'm like, oh, people are into this. And so I'm just trying new things of like incorporating my music more into it and leading it back to Planeswalker. Because again, ultimately at the end of the day, it's like if I'm gonna be any sort of as you will content creator, I think in my heart it's music, and that's what I want it to lead back to. So even though I'm doing magic content, you'll as you see, I'm still incorporating my music into it somehow, whether it's my own songs or other songs, but
Yeah.
I'm putting music in there and that's what feels right to me and it feels good to me and it makes me enjoy it. So, if I can find people that are into that, then perfect. Um, and I really started in January, hitting it a little harder with Can I Play with Magic because burnout is real, as I'm sure we all
Mhm.
know, and I definitely hit a big burnout with music, with the music industry in general, and I just wanted a little breather, and I was dealing with some personal stuff too, and I was like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just start doing more magic stuff, but I have one rule for myself with magic. It has to stay fun. I'm not trying to become a magic content creator. I'm not trying to do all this stuff because I've done that and I do it with music. And while it's rewarding, it is tiresome sometimes.
Mhm.
And I don't want to burn out on both things I love.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
You don't want everything you love to feel like a job.
Exactly. And so with magic, I've made a very hard rule for myself. It's like I'm doing this for fun. I'm streaming because it's fun. I'm inviting people because they seem like they're fun to play with, and I want to meet more people in the community. But anytime this would start to feel like I'm grinding or it's a job, then I have to reassess. Because music will always be that, and that's okay. Like again, like if you want it to be more than a hobby, you got to do the grind. It is a job, and people don't get that.
Yeah.
And jobs, whether you love them or not, have their tiresome moments, have their burnout
Mhm.
moments, and that's okay. It's just about navigating through them. And now that things have changed in my life and some big shifts have happened, I feel ready to dive back into that creative side and hopefully start writing this second album I've been promising people for 5 years.
Hey, listen, they've been promising GTA 6 forever, and people are
Right.
still all about it. So I think you're fine, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I think what you're saying is very important because I've only been doing my stuff since like January, and I've felt burnt out so many times already. So I can only imagine in the
Right.
time that you've been doing this stuff, how many times you felt that burnout and felt it hard to make content. Like I just recently found my what I feel like is my niche. right? Like basically just talking about people that I love in the community. Um, not even it's not even exactly about Magic. It's Magic adjacent,
Right.
and it feels much better than what I was doing before, trying to like talk about sets or opening packs or whatever, whatever. Like other people can do that, and I love that for them. It's just not me, and for you, it's not you to just do the typical Magic thing, which
And
is
yeah.
awesome.
And I think you just nailed it. It's nothing against those who do it. We need the people who love to do that because that's how I see what's happening. That's what I
Yeah,
But I love the game. I love playing the game, but I don't care about the spoilers and the opening the packs and this and that.
hmm
Like I just love playing the game. I love meeting the people. And again, I go back to I love the lore. And if we want to
hmm
talk about that later, we could get into all
Oh,
that.
we
But
can do it. We can do it now. I mean,
yeah,
this is the
but
third time we brought it up. You can hit it now.
yeah. But my point is like all that's doesn't really interest me to do, you
Yeah,
know. And I love that there's people who do, and a lot of people I've met and love and follow, they do it, and it's like that's how I know about what's happening. So I'm like sick.
yeah,
But it doesn't interest me to do it. Like
yeah,
what I like to do is again, like we said, like, ah, dude, this card looks heavy. Let me write some shit to that, or
yeah,
whatever. And so if you find your thing, man, that's great. And that's what we got to do. And the hard part is, and I'm sure and we always say is like not to care about the numbers, but it's hard when you put
so
yourself out
hard.
there and you are just giving everything.
Yeah,
You do want to see something. And it's not about like, here's what I've always said again with music is I don't want to be on a pedestal. I don't want to be like praise like, "Oh my god," but it's like sometimes it feels nice
yeah,
when you literally put your soul into something to get some recognition for it. Like,
absolutely.
it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah,
Like
it's
when you
human
yeah,
nature to want to feel like you're doing a good job.
exactly. And trying to understand the algorithms of social media too cuz for example, this recent thing I posted of like the metal artwork thing and I'm playing the riffs it exploded on TikTok. It's probably at this point like at 11,000 and I don't usually break more than 1,500 views. So I'm like, why did that one do well? I don't get it because it's like I've done it before. So I'm trying to not care so much about it, and it has been nice because it's like, well, this is fun for me, and I think that
Yeah,
goes back to again just finding your niche. Then it doesn't because if I was doing the grind of the things I didn't like, but it's like, oh, I feel like I have to do this because it's what creators do
yeah,
I would probably hate it because it's like I'm
yeah.
not having. But with this stuff, I'm having fun. I'm just writing riffs, and who knows? Like, there's already one. Like, I did the Lord of Pain, and
That
already
was awesome.
I'm like, oh, dude, I hear a full song for this, so that might turn into a full song someday.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm really. And by the way, I also really enjoy this series because like I think it's fascinating that like they just came out with the wow. Why did the name of Judas Priest? No, not Judas Priest. Why is the band? Is it no? What set did they just come
Iron
out with?
Maiden, Iron
Iron
Maiden.
Maiden. God, I was like Judas Priest is not the right answer. The Iron Maiden set. So they made cards that are literally album covers from Iron Maiden, right?
Mhm.
So so even before that, like some Magic cards, like you've already been doing, like with Wrath of God, with Lord of Pain, like literally look like they could be album covers or look like they could be like art scenes in like the Louvre or something, right?
Mhm.
Like
Oh
these
yeah.
are already things, and now you're bringing a light to it, bringing music to it as well, which I mean, I love music just in general. That can be a separate conversation of my music background, but like I love that you're doing this, and I love that it started popping off the way it did too, because it's so creative, it's so fun, it's so artistic, and I'm happy for that for you.
Man. Yeah, hopefully it keeps growing because it's fun to do. And like I said, like for me, the goal, and when I was talking to my friends in Atlanta, and they're like, "Well, what do you want?" And I was like, ultimately, everything I do, I want to lead back to the band. So this is the way to do that. Yeah. Yep.
So we talked a lot about Atlanta, and for me, Atlanta was an amazing, incredible, just like altering experience for my content. And it sounds like it kind of was for you too, because being able to talk to people in person makes a big difference in how you have the interactions about things, right? Like
It does.
I love talking to people online, but feeling the energy, being able to like just chill and not be tethered to like just a computer and be able to go to a restaurant, walk around a con, sit down and play a game. You can have different experiences from that. And so, what from this con did you learn that maybe you'll take to the next con and do differently? Or will you take to the next con and be able to like say like I'm going to do this at the next con?
That is a great question, but I feel my answer might not be as exciting as you think
That's
because
okay.
so far nothing. I sort of in like the way I kind of did it worked for me and I'll probably do it the same like because I know a lot of people in the same circle, but then I knew a lot of people sort of in the metal community there. So I kind of like to just be a roamer, and then when I see some friends that I know, I'll latch on for a little bit and hang out. And if someone's looking for a game and I got the time, I'll jump in. And but the thing I've learned for me is I don't try to make too many plans because it just doesn't work out. Like
Oh
everyone
my
is
gosh.
running everywhere in every direction, and like even Shy. Like I think you stayed with Shy in
Yep.
their
Shout out
Airbnb.
Shy Twilight. Yep.
Yeah, and Shy was has become a friend of mine in the community, and one of the people I was looking forward to the most. And we didn't even get to play a full game. Like we
Mhm.
tried, but we had to cut it short because we played with Jane and Ricky, and they had to go set up for Avatar. Shy had to go to someone's panel, and so it's like, so I didn't get a full game with Shy. So it's like even one of the homies you're looking forward to, but then it's funny because I hung out with Shy quite a bit outside of
Yeah.
it, but you just don't know.
It's crazy how many people that you're like, I'm gonna see you when you're there, and maybe you see him for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. And I think the first time I went, like that kind of bummed me out, but I was like, that's not personal, man. Like it's just because I did the same. Like people would want to see me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll try to get there, and then you just don't make it. And it's not like a personal thing. It's just it just happens. And
Yeah.
so when I go to these things, I'm just like I had some set plans. Like myself and MTG Demonic Tutor, shout out to them. We had plans to go get milkshakes together because if no one knows Demonic Tutor's content, they make like drinks based on magic cards. But I don't drink, so when we did mine, we made a milkshake, and so we just had this whole thing of, oh man, we gotta go get milkshakes together, and so that was like a set plan that we wanted to do, but otherwise for me, I think it just kind of worked. And who knows though, because like I met some cool people within the sort of metal magic community that it'd be nice to do more with, and I'm hoping maybe that can lead somewhere and we can do some stuff. And
Yeah.
so it's really hard to say, but so far I'm pretty happy with how things are rolling when I go and just
Good.
trying to see everyone that I can see. And yeah, man, like I said, I don't know. I don't have much more than that.
No, that's great. I think that's a great answer. I think it's good that you, because this is my first con, so I didn't fully know what to expect. And at first I was like, man, I really wish I would have like tried out to be a creator. And I realize now I'm so thankful I didn't try to be a creator for this. Like I just got to experience stuff. And even then there was just so much happening all the time.
Yeah. And and that's a good point too. Like I think about it like I don't know if I want to try to be a creator, but sometimes I think like again, like going back to sort of the metal and stuff, like Ultimate Guard had that metal booth and the musicians
Yeah,
there were playing stuff. And I was like, of course, part of me is like, oh, I have Planeswalker. I want to do this. But then I'm like, but I don't know if I'd want to be stuck at a booth all day, you
yeah,
know? Like then you're missing out on everything. I want to walk around. I want to see people. I want to see what's going on. I want to experience everything. And I'm sure they got their time to do that too. So I don't know. But being just at a booth all day doesn't really interest me?
I don't blame you.
Um, yeah.
You do it enough recording your music. You don't want to do it while you're at MagicCon, right?
Yeah.
That's a music joke for you. Not a good one, but it was one. So speaking of things that are not very good, at least in your opinion here, Universes Beyond. Tell me, stand on your soapbox and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, first I'll start with calm down, everybody. Okay, people are allowed to not like things as long as they're not toxic about it. So first off, chill out. I'm not trying to make anyone not play Universes Beyond. If someone sat down in a pod and had a Universes Beyond only deck, I will have just as much fun playing a game with you. So let me get that out of the way. I don't care what you play, but on a personal level, what made me fall in love with the game was the rich high fantasy lore. And that's what I think of when I think of Magic. Okay.
Mhm.
For me. All right. Not for
Preach.
you. Yeah. So you do whatever you want. And, it's just, that's just how I feel. But so I don't get excited. And, to be fair, though, it makes it easier for me. Like all this fatigue, I just
Mhm.
skip the Universes Beyond. So I'm not feeling the fatigue as bad as others. And here's another thing, too, that I remind myself I'm 37 years old and it's a fucking cardboard game. So at the end of the day, I can have my feelings about it, but it's still a cardboard game. So I don't care what you do, but I'm allowed to feel my certain way about what the game means to me, why I fell in love with it, why I started a band about it.
Mhm.
And even in lore universes, like, I'm sure it's nothing new, right? It's all been brought up before. Aether Drift, cool. Yeah, you know what I
Mhm.
really want to see is Chandra fucking race car driving. That's what I think of when I think of Chandra.
Mhm.
People playing fucking Blues Clues or whatever, Scooby, on fucking where was
Yes,
that?
the Karlov Manor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Jace is a cowboy. Sick, dude. Let's
yeah.
go. And here, but
Jason's an otter. What did he become an otter? Is that what that one was? Karn
Thunder
became a
Junction,
tree.
right? I don't even know. I don't.
No, I know, but Karn became a tree in Bloomborough. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing too. Is like I still liked the sets. They're still
yeah,
fun. Like they have some good stuff. So it's like I'm trying not to take it too seriously, but I'm allowed to feel like this doesn't excite me like what excited me when I got into the game.
yeah,
You know, and some I forget who said it. It was some content creator. I think one of the bigger ones, or someone said it, but it's more like Magic is starting to feel like a game that just uses Magic mechanics. And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I feel that.
It
You
feels like a
know,
PlayStation. It's a PlayStation at this point, or
yeah,
like Fortnite. Like you just have skins of whatever, right?
yeah.
Like,
Another
I
thing,
mean, also we're
like,
gonna have a PlayStation secret layer, but that's beside the point. Go ahead.
well, that just made me think. Like, you can't see my wall right now, but I got like 3 God of War posters on my wall. I love
Mhm.
God of War. I grew up on God of War. Still doesn't mean I want it in Magic.
Yeah,
But again, that's me. If
yeah,
people are stoked to have a Kratos, hell yeah. And again, you can call me a hypocrite, but I bought the Iron Maiden secret layers. But I've also never had an issue with reskins because,
yeah,
again, where I'm coming from is the lore. Reskins are just reskins. They're still the
yeah.
action. It's almost like when there's a remake of a movie, you still have the original.
Exactly.
Go watch the original, right? But people who like the remake, cool, you got the remake. But again, seeing so many people stoked on Avatar, Final Fantasy, great, cool, man. I love that. And that's awesome. And again, there's the argument you always hear of like it brings new people in, or things that I see like when Sonic came out, I saw someone like I'm excited because this is going to get my son into it. Why would I want to hate that? You know?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would I want to, oh, fuck your son, Pyrrhus, like, no, dude, like, if there's a dad stoked that he's going to get his son into it with an IP that his son loves, cool, man. It doesn't affect my life at all. Like, hell yeah.
yeah.
But I am not going to go build a Sonic deck. And that's really
Right.
all it is. And if this father and son sat down and was like, yo, let's play, and they're playing Shadow and Sonic, I will play. I will have a great time. Um, it doesn't
And then
matter to me what you
yeah,
play,
and then
you
you'll
know?
go build a Sonic deck right after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
No,
so
I
again, I don't care what other people do. I just wish they were still taking care of their in universe lore, which I don't feel
agreed.
they are.
Agreed. I feel like Tarkir did a good job trying to
Yeah.
bring it back. I feel like Edge of Eternity's I mean, it was a good set, but for a story purpose, like it felt like Two Towers for Lord of the Rings, like where it's like sure it's good, but like it felt like all set up for like what's coming next.
Right.
So whatever they do next, where, in my opinion, Nico Bolas is going to come back to his full power,
Fucking ready. Go.
right? So like when that happens, like I'm so stoked for that. But then, like you said, I will say, at least for Aether Drift, as odd of a set as it was, at least the story of getting the Aether Spark made sense because Chandra's trying to win it for Nissa, and
Yes, but
somehow, some way, Nico Bolas is going to steal that. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good storytelling. I'm just saying at least like there was a thought there, I guess.
yeah, but there's 1,000 different ways they could have done it than race car driving, you
Yes,
know?
agreed.
So
Wholeheartedly agree.
that's where that's where I'm at.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you there. I
Yeah.
just, I like Chandra's my all-time favorite character in Magic. So like the thought of her saying, Nissa, I want to win this for you, is like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. But then it's like, why race cars?
Yeah. But at the same time, I will again say, if I met someone and they're like, Aether Drift is my favorite set, oh my God, hell yeah, dude. Hell
Yeah,
yeah. Like, it does not affect me if someone exclusively wants to build Aether Drift commanders and they're like, I think it's the greatest lore Magic has ever done. Okay, good, man. Sick.
I
Like,
got a lot of questions about it for
I'll never
sure.
tell them they're wrong,
Yeah,
you know? It's just like, it ain't for me. And I think that's another thing you'll never see me do with my content is I tried it for a while, didn't like it.
mhm,
The hard stance, the super opinionated. It's just like, dude, I don't care enough. Like, I know what I like. I know what does it for me. And if someone else likes it, again, like Universes Beyond, man, like
mhm.
it ain't my thing. And again, it's like sometimes I'll go back and forth with myself. I was like, well, why isn't it my thing? Because again, it is just a game, but I don't know. There's a reason people are passionate about things and you
Yeah,
fall in love with things. And there is the side of it is just a card game, but it's also not. It
yeah,
wouldn't be what it is if it was just a card game. So you're
yeah,
allowed to have your strong feelings about it, but just don't be an asshole about it on either
yeah,
side.
yeah.
Because
Agreed.
I do see jerks on the other side when people say they don't like Universes Beyond.
Yeah,
And that's very weird to me.
yeah.
Like like it I don't know, just let people like and dislike what they want as long as they're not being jerks about it, you
Yeah,
know?
have peaceful discourse about it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to have reasonable discourse, and you can agree to disagree at the end of it, but you can try to
Yeah.
talk it out. That's okay. And
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's not just a card game. Like Lorcana is not just a card game for the people who play Lorcana.
Yeah.
Pokemon is not just a card game for people who play Pokemon. Like
Right.
these have stories. They have memories attached to them, whether people realize it or not. Like I started playing Magic because I was playing Pokemon back in the 90s, and the card shop I went to, everyone's playing Magic, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play Magic too. And like I stopped for a while in high school. Like, I feel like everyone in my time frame who played Magic says that. Like when I went to high school, I stopped playing. It's true
Mhm.
though, and I came back because I remember those good memories. And
Right.
that's why I play Magic, because I enjoyed the time with the people. I enjoy the art of the cards. I enjoy meeting new people, which is why I loved MagicCon so much, because I got to meet so many amazing people. But you're right, it's not just a card game. And it's not even just a story. The stories, it's the memories, it's the attachments to those cards, to those moments, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yep. I agree. And I think again, that's why for me, I'm so heavy on the lore and why I hate seeing what's happening to it and bringing in the other stuff is because the lore is what got me. Like I've met people who don't really care about the lore and they're like, "Oh, it's the mechanics." That I understand a little bit more of why like
Mhm.
they might be more open to UB. And then there's some people who just love both for loving both and that's great. Again, everyone's got their own thing. But for me, the lore is what captured me.
Yeah,
And as far as Planeswalker goes, it's like there's so much old great lore that I'm not worried
yeah,
because with how fast or slow rather we do albums, it's like I'm never
yeah.
gonna run out of material in the old lore to write about.
There you
I
go.
mean, we could easily, I love the old Urza stories and stuff, and I'm like, we easily could just write about those storylines forever and still not finish everything. So it's just like there's plenty of material to work with. So
Yeah.
whatever state of Magic becomes, it's not like I have to write about Aether Drift, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, yeah, and then I don't know. I feel at this. I feel that's what I got on that subject.
Yeah, that's good. Like I don't mind Universes Beyond. I mind how lazy they've been with Universes Beyond parent
Right.
personally. That's my beef. Is like the Spider-Man set was bad, not because Spider-Man's bad. I love Spider-Man, but the set felt pushed. Like it just was like here's Spider-Man and like it because it's Spider-Man. It's like no, I want to like it because it's like Lord of the Rings was good. Lord of the Rings, like whether or not you like Universes Beyond, Lord of the Rings was a set that definitely affected the game, and I think
Oh
it
yeah.
affected it in a very positive way. Same thing with Final Fantasy because those feel not totally magicy. Probably Lord of the Rings more than anything, and that's how I feel about God of War. I feel like that it feels a little bit more magicy
Well, they
than
already had
Spider.
their sort of Greek sets, so it works.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that works out. But also bring back blocks. That's a whole different conversation, and
Mhm.
not these Omen Path blocks. Like bring back real blocks, like Urza blocks. Like bring those back.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of journeys that you've been on, speaking of journeys that Magic is on, you right now are on a journey halfway to go see Vanessa Carlton. If it's such a stupid way to segue into this, but you're walking 500 miles on stream, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a stupid way to segue. You're walking 500 miles on stream, and by the way, mad respect. Like you're putting your health journey out there. You're doing the daily shred thing, and you're doing all this walking. It is so impressive to me.
Thank you.
So impressive to me. Can you talk to me about that journey?
Yeah. So what's funny, and yeah, we'll get into that and content and how that works. But so let's start with the Super Shred one first, because I that kind of came first. So when I got back from Atlanta, another thing I was like, I'm just tired of being tired, if you will.
Hmm.
Like, you know, just being out of shape and whatever. But I was like, everything I've tried just doesn't work. Like, I can't seem to just stick with something. So I had this idea of like, what if I hold myself accountable? There's these people called Buff Dudes, and I really enjoy their content on YouTube. And they're, as the name implies, they're these really buff brothers, and they do a lot of fitness content. But I like them because it's like nerdy content, or they'll do something I like where they'll do like living as an '80s man for a week or living as a '70s man for a week. And what they'll do is they'll do the aesthetics of those decades, but also they'll talk about what was a popular diet for fitness back then or what workouts were popular back then. Anyways, just really cool dudes. I have their app, and they have different challenges within their app that you can do. And one of them was this super shred challenge, because it was like if you want to get lean and muscular, or whatever. And I was just like, this would be a good one to start. So I was gonna do it. And I got the idea of to just start documenting it and then rewarding a little bit of each day I finish, I'll go buy like a cheap pack and open the pack and do a pack opening video. Um, and then at the end of it, as long as I don't miss any days, I'm gonna buy a collector box, which I regret saying. I didn't realize how fucking expensive they are. Jesus.
You played yourself.
I thought older ones would be cheaper. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then there's my pack video. So what's funny though, speaking of like content that works and doesn't work, those do really bad actually. Like
So
of all
weird.
of all the content I've been doing lately, these ones average at like 200 views. Now, part of that's a little discouraging, but at the same time, I'm reminding myself like, well, I'm doing it more as accountability for me. So I'm gonna keep doing them, because if I stop making the videos, maybe I'll fall out. It's holding that accountability for me, like, oh, I gotta get the pack, I gotta do the video, and that might seem silly to some people, but dude, when you've struggled with fitness for fucking years, like you do what you do to make whatever motivates you and gets you going. That's cool. And this, for right now, this is working for me. So even though the videos aren't doing great, I'm still holding that accountability. Well, I'm still gonna post them. And so, and then yeah, and then now I'm walking on the treadmill. So that I've actually been doing for a while, like months now. I've been
Yeah.
walking on a treadmill during my streams. But how and here's the funny thing: those videos do well.
Mm.
So I don't. That's why I'm like I don't get it. Like the walking on the treadmill videos I post do pretty good. The music stuff's been doing pretty good, but the opening the packs at the gym thing aren't doing pretty good. So I'm wondering what it is. maybe they're too long because they are kind of long because I talk about I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
it takes almost a minute before I get to opening the pack. So maybe I need to reevaluate how I film those and hook people a little quicker. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyways, so the walking the 500 miles thing, man, I'm probably halfway there already, just with how long I've been doing it. But since I've been documenting it, I think I'm at what 17 miles. And how that started is shout out to Leviathan King. I was on Fast Don't live stream and I was on the treadmill and Leviathan King popped in and he was like, every time I see Jason on his treadmill, I think of that song by the Proclaimers, 500 miles. And we just started joking on the stream and it turned into this whole like, I'll do it. I'll document myself walking 500 miles. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. So yeah, so now since then, I've been keeping track of how many miles I do each stream, and then I'm putting out these videos of the stream and the games, and then how many miles I've added to it until I get to 500. What's gonna happen when I get to 500? I have no idea, but I
You're gonna
got a
have to buy
while.
you're gonna buy a collector booster. No.
No, I've promised nothing for this one. Yeah, I'll buy
No,
yeah
that's fair. That's fair.
500 packs and I'll give them away. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Holy sh
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
But yeah, and for me it was just like, why not? I'm already doing it, so why not make it a thing? And really, if I'm being honest, right? Because this is the whole point here. We're talking about just what it is to do these things.
Yeah.
For me, it's just another way of like, hey, maybe this will bring people into my streams more because they'll see that I do this, and
Yeah.
there's ways you can manipulate the treadmill on my streams. And if anyone ever does on my stream, I'll record that part so I can put it in the little reel that I make. And so for me, the motivation is because I was already doing it.
Yeah.
For me, the motivation is it's a fun challenge, and hey, if it'll cycle some more people to the streams because it's like, oh, it's the walking guy or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then sure, I think it's what content's content, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't I don't fully agree with that. There is bad content, but yeah, if it works, it works, and yeah, these ones do okay. They usually, and again, I say okay for me because
Yeah.
okay is subjective, but for
Right.
me, if I get something that gets between 800 to 1,200 views, I'm like, all right, that was a good day, because again, I'm still pretty small. I don't even have more than 1,000. I got like 900 something people, so for me, that's good. So
Yeah.
again, when that one reel yesterday broke 10,000, that's like, oh my. To some people, to like bigger people, that's nothing. But for
Yeah.
me, that's like, whoa, that doesn't happen. Like I
Yeah.
rarely get to 2,000.
Same.
So, and then yeah, so the treadmill thing is just like, I don't know. I'm already walking. Why not make a
Yeah.
reel? It's not hard to do the reel. I just periodically, like I don't know, every 5 minutes or so, I'll do a quick 5 second filming of what my board state looks like of the stream, and then a reminder that I'm walking, and then I chop up a 30-45 second clip, and there's a reel. You know.
And it's so funny because in watching you previously, in my mind, I was like, it looks like he's walking, but I was like, there's no way. So until you started doing this, I had not fully realized that you were actually walking during your streams. I know
Oh
that
yeah.
probably sounds super silly, but I'm just like I'm like it looks like he's standing and walking, and I was like, nah, like that's got to be in
Who
my
would
head.
who would
This is
do
the one,
that? Yeah.
yeah, and this is the one time it's not actually in my head. I was actually right, but I was playing myself. I was like, there's no way. So man, I really do mean it's so impressive that you are recording this like it's so vulnerable to
It
do
is.
that.
Yeah.
It's so vulnerable because you're putting yourself out there. You like I think Celtic Warrior Gaming does the same thing, right? Like he puts his stuff out there,
Oh,
um,
yep, yep.
and it can be like I don't know if you've gotten the comments that like are like bad, but I always get worried if I want to do something like that I'm gonna get those like, look at this person, or like you're doing it wrong, or like why are you doing it this way, and it dissuades me from that. So do you ever get like do you ever get down about stuff like that, like worried about stuff like that when you're doing this?
Um, I have in other things in the past for sure, especially with music. Putting
Yeah.
yourself out there with songs you've written is very vulnerable. But with something like this, I don't. And the
Okay.
reason why, and you shouldn't either, because anybody who's going to say something negative about someone trying to better themselves, like get fucked, get out of here. You know?
I love
Like,
that.
yeah, I'm sorry that I'm walking and trying to be healthier and trying to do better for myself. and that you have a problem with that. And same with Celtic Warrior, right? Like he's putting it out there. I think he said something like he's lost like 60 pounds or something
Yeah.
crazy. Like that's
Also,
awesome, dude. Like,
super tall person, by the way.
yeah, I think he might be taller than me.
I
I
think
don't know.
so.
Yeah, but again, like if you're gonna see a video like that and have something, first off, not only think something negative, but go as far to comment something negative, well, your life's probably worse than mine, buddy. So,
Yeah, I'm with you.
like, so do it, man. Be vulnerable, bro. Like anyone who's gonna give you shit for being vulnerable isn't worth your time. I
Oh,
trust me, I know that's easier said than done.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Like I get that. There's still again, I still won't put strong opinions out there because as soon as I get ripped apart for it, I'm like, oh my god, so I get it, man. It's not always easy. I've tried to make videos where I'm taking a hard stance on how I feel, and then it's just so negative that I'm just like, it ain't worth it, man. Like I'm
Yeah,
not here to argue, but something like this, like the gym videos or the treadmill videos, if someone really can see those and post something negative, that I don't think that would phase me because it's just like, what is wrong with what I'm doing? You know,
yeah,
how is this a bad thing, dude? You don't have to watch this. You don't have to follow me. And so, yeah, man, but I get it. It's easier said than done. Like
yeah,
getting through that vulnerable wall is tough, and I still struggle with it. And
yeah.
I think that's the thing too. Is like you know, my guitar is the safety blanket. So it's like when I'm doing these like the metal art album covers and I'm playing the riffs, you know. One, it's like I didn't write the songs. So if someone hates them, it's like I didn't write it. Cuz I am a little vulnerable when I do cuz I do the other thing, right, where I
Yeah,
I write a riff to a card.
yeah,
That's a little more vulnerable
yeah,
because I'm
absolutely.
just like because one, I'm not in the same mindset as if I'm writing for an album. So I'm literally just writing something quick. Like the which I've done 4 so far. The second one I did, the
Hmm.
Joven.
Yeah,
And I wrote that riff, I'm not even kidding, in like 5 minutes, if that, you know? That's something that, like, if I was to put it on an album, I would definitely like, I already hear things like, "Oh, man, I would not keep that. Oh, I would" you know what I mean? But it's supposed to be a quick little fun thing. So it's like people are hearing it in its most raw first draft form, which is what would never make it to an actual song, you
yeah,
know? And that's a little vulnerable because people could be like, "Ah, shit riff, bro," or people like their opinions of like, "That's not how it's," like I remember showing someone off Instagram and I was showing them the one I did for Dovin. Is that how you say it?
yeah.
No, no, Joven Dahada.
Tejada.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that one. And they were like critiquing it, like, "Oh, I would have." I was like, "I didn't fucking ask you what you would have done. I was just showing you the video." And
Yeah.
that's something as a musician you get all the time. Like I remember to step to the side again real quick is
Yep.
this band Dire Peril. I have we did one album in 2018, and it took like 3 years to get this album done. And when it was finally out, I was showing somebody, and like the first thing they said was like, "I might have." I was like, "Fuck you!" Like you're 3 years too late. I don't like you wanted to hear a song. I'm showing you a song. Like if you don't like it, that's fine. But I didn't ask you for your like what you would have written. Go write your own song. You know. Um, so that's where I get a little vulnerable because but not enough to care. Because again, it's like I think my most vulnerable is putting out a new song like for reals. Like if one of my projects puts a new song out,
Hmm.
because that is where you've put everything into it. And again, to kind of sidebar even more, I meant to bring this up when we were talking about Universes Beyond, but
Yeah.
I also have this other project of Romulus, which is a very, very low key project. Like we only have 2 songs out. We have another song coming out, hopefully by the end of this year. But it's
Fingers
with
crossed.
my friend Heather. But Heather is phenomenal, but music is very much a hobby for her.
Okay.
So we do songs when we can. But funny enough, it's a Star Trek themed band. So I do love Star Trek, but you know what? I don't give a fuck about the Star Trek set because I don't care about Star Trek and magic.
Right.
Um, but I do love Star Trek, and so that is like I get vulnerable there because when you put a song out actually finished,
Hmm.
you've you've put everything into it. That you can. I mean, you'll, as a musician or an artist, I'm sure all artists can agree, like, you'll still look back and be like, oh man, I would have done this and that. But it's just how it is. But I might have
Yeah.
gone off topic. But vulnerable. Yeah, dude, who cares, man? If you want to put videos out that are like bettering yourself and people are going to be negative about that, then
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like you said, easier said than done, but I do want to let you know I very much respect that you're doing it. I very much respect that it's something that you're putting out there because it can be vulnerable. Same thing with the music. Like that is such a vulnerable moment because you're really putting your heart and soul into that. And I think it's something that I truly respect. I respect you as a whole, but this
Thank
is
you.
something that like I look at and I'm like, okay, like this is almost like a guiding light, like a beacon that that is like you can like you if you want to do this you can, and there's other people who are out there doing that and they will support you even if there are some people who might not support you on it or may be negative. There are people who will, who are showing that it's that you can do it, that it's out there, that it's okay. And I
Right.
appreciate that about what you're doing.
Thank you, man. And
Also,
that's great. And go ahead.
I would say also the walking during a game. I honestly just feel like at some point I'd crash out and be like I concede. I'm on the ground. I can't walk anymore.
Well, yeah, I do have, I do tell myself, like, obviously, if I reach a point where I'm just too tired to walk, I'll stop. I mean,
Okay.
but the more you do it, right, it gets easier. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
like the last stream on Wednesday, I got to 6 miles, which was
Oh
crazy
wow.
because usually I don't break 4 miles. Like usually I don't even get to 4 miles, but I had two separate people come in and redeem the jog till the next turn. So I'm pretty sure that's what got me to 6 miles.
Hey.
That was rough. And then the next
Yeah.
day I had to go do the gym challenge, and it was leg day, of course. So
Of course it is.
yeah, so I am excited about not doing anything physical today. That is my personal goal for today because this week was brutal. The third week
Yeah.
of all this was pretty rough.
But this is like what do they say after like 21 days? Like it's when it becomes more natural, right? So like this
Yeah.
should be the turning point for that for you. Hopefully.
Hopefully, hope so because the
Hopefully.
third week was the roughest somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
As it happens, but it's amazing. I do truly love it, and just I'm I'm really happy that you're here. By the way, I want to say that we're coming toward toward an end to our time, and I'm really sad about that because this has been fascinating. This has been really fun. You are such a fun person to listen to and to learn from. And I'm thankful that I've been able to have this time with you. So I want to thank you now. I'm going to thank you again later because I'm just a person who thanks a lot.
Well, I
As
appreciate
if
it, man,
people
and
didn't know that.
I appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
This has been a lot of fun.
yeah. So so just to close out, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I will give some examples just in case maybe it's something that you had not ever thought of before. But like first question, what is your favorite card? What is your favorite card in Magic? Like my favorite card is Haunted Cloak. Not because it's a good card, but I think it's just like just a very fun card to have in like whatever deck because I have 30 of them, so I try to jam it in every deck I can.
That's an easy one for me. It is Lurking Predators.
Oh my gosh,
So,
Looking Predators is so good.
yeah, I've come to accept that I am a Timmy player, and I just like to play big creatures.
Hey.
And Lurking Predators, because here's the thing. So Lurking Predators is whenever an opponent casts a spell, you can look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature, you can put it on the battlefield, or you may put it on the bottom of your library. The thing is, players are greedy. They're not going to not play their spells.
Hmm.
so so unless it gets removed, you're just fishing through your deck and putting I've had to change the game so many times in my dinosaur deck. Just like
Hmm.
get that thing out past the turn and just let people start casting their spells, and by the time you get
Hmm.
back to your turn, you just got a board of dinosaurs.
That's that's something that I do I hope I get to play with you at some point. We haven't gotten a chance to play at any point, sadly, but I hope I do because I have a deck. It's my Galta deck. It's my pet deck, and its
Nice.
name is affectionately Big Beefy Boys Bumpin' Beef.
Love it.
So when Lurking Predators is in there, it's literally just, oh, here's a World Spine Worm. Oh, here's Galta Stampede Tyrant. Oh, here's Nyx Bloom Ancient. Just dropping on the board with these Lurking Predator triggers. So like
Yep.
that's a great shout.
It's great.
That's a great show. What is your favorite deck that you either currently have or that you've ever had gotten to play with?
Well, yeah, Weta. Again, speaking about my dinosaurs, my Weta deck is my favorite deck. I play it way more than any. And yeah, just the Dino deck for sure.
That's
And then,
awesome.
funny enough, I also love my Blue Braids deck, but I love it for a different reason because I built that as a clone deck. So I love it because for me, every game is different
Hmm.
because I'm just trying to clone what other people are playing. So I
100%.
don't necessarily know what I'm going to get. And sometimes it backfires. Sometimes I'm playing against people who aren't playing heavy creature, and then there aren't a lot of options for me. Now, of course, I do have some big scary stuff of my own as like
Of course.
backup plans in case the opponents aren't giving me good stuff. But I think the funniest story about that one, I was
Mhm.
playing with KP MTG. We all of us completely misunderstood the Cascade trigger. So with braids, KP put down the creature that has like Cascade, Cascade, Cascade.
Apex Alt, or not
That
Apex,
one.
Apex Devastator. Devastator.
Yeah. Which first off, right there wouldn't have worked because
Yeah.
you weren't casting it.
Yep.
But then I kept cloning it and doing the cascade, and then I'd get another clone and do it.
Hmm.
And then it wasn't until the game was over that someone else pointed out, like, you guys realize you can't do that. And they were like, oh, because it's a cast trigger. Oops. And I was like, that makes sense. So we don't do what we just did just now. So we
That
all
sounds like a
played it.
very interesting game to have happened.
It was, but it was completely illegal.
You
But
know
we
what?
laughed. Yeah.
No one knows how to play Magic anyway, so it's fine.
Well, here's the thing: none of us players caught it. None of the chat caught it, and we all were just watching it happen. It wasn't until I raided into another stream where someone on that stream was like, "Oh, you realize you couldn't have done that," and we were like, "Oh, oops, yeah,
All good. All right, so I also have a Blue Braids deck, by the way. Very different because it's a group hug deck, and
mm,
now I call it a group art project because all I'm trying to do is get everyone else to do the work, and I draw as much as possible.
love it."
Yeah, so it's just I try to draw my whole deck out. Alt win con. It has 3 total creatures in it. One of them is Braids, or no, it has 4 now. Braids, Labman, Triskaidekaphile, and Kami. That's it. Those are the only creatures in the whole deck. It's a very interesting concept for a Braids deck. Trust me, I know because everyone's like, huh, and then it happens, and then it's just mass chaos because everyone's getting free shit and as many cards as they want, and everything's happening around me, and I'm just over here drawing, 10 cards a turn, whatever.
Right?
It's so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Braids is
But I
fun,
love it.
and I,
I
I
love it.
love commanders like Braids where you could build it so many ways. You know.
Yes, it's
Um,
very very versatile. Very
yep.
versatile.
Yeah, but definitely Weta, my dinosaur deck is my number one, my baby.
I mean, who doesn't love dinos? Like you said, Timmy player, it's fine. Like that is a way to win the game is just to stomp people out of existence.
Exactly.
That's life.
And it's funny too because I've discovered some sort of janky infinite damage combos. So getting to pull that off is fun because no one sees it coming in dinosaurs.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that
So
so
sometimes
much.
I win that way because the way it works is you got to have the dinosaur Cacophodon, where when it's dealt damage, you can untap a permanent. And no one thinks anything of that dinosaur. No one's afraid of it. Like, oh, cool, you'll untap one land, you know? But with Weta, your damage triggers double. So what I'll do is I'll have
Mm,
another dinosaur that when it's dealt damage, it deals damage to an opponent. And then I'll play something like Heroic Intervention to give my dinosaurs indestructible.
mhm.
And then I'll tap Weta for 1 green, have those 2 dinosaurs fight, untap a land, untap Weta, and just rinse and repeat until everyone's dead.
It's amazing. I love
Yeah.
that.
I was like,
That's
wait, that works. So it's fun because again, no one sees an infinite dino combo coming.
No, they don't. They just like you said, they think, oh, it's just combat damage, and then you're like, psych.
Yep, yep. It's
I'm
not. I don't try to win that way every time, but it is fun when I get to pull it off.
Yeah, I love that.
Like,
I genuinely enjoy that. So this actually leads kind of well into the next question. What card do you play the most often? For me, it's Elixir of Immortality, which is tap. It's a 1 drop, tap 2, tap it, shuffle your graveyard and Elixir of Immortality into your library, gain 5 life. I love that card, and I put it in every single deck I possibly can because I try to avoid people stealing stuff from my graveyard. I avoid people trying to get rid of my graveyard, and I think it's a very useful card to have in literally any deck since it's just a one colorless. So what for you is a card you play most often?
That's a great question, man. I don't know if I know the answer to that. Because as much as I love lurking predators, I wouldn't say that's the actual answer because it still needs to sort of fit the deck, right?
Yeah,
Um, man, that is a good. I think I'm gonna have to think on that one. I don't
that's
know
okay.
if I have it. I don't know if I have an immediate answer. I'd have to like look at my decks, and there isn't one card that jumps out at me.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Soul
we can
Ring,
come back
baby.
to it.
I'm
Soul
kidding.
Soul Ring, put it in everything, baby. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say if that's the answer, cool. If you want to come back to it, we can too. That's okay. Okay, so let me ask you the next question then. What is a card people should play more often, in your opinion? Like for me, I think again, Elixir of Immortality to try to save graveyards, to try to counter mill, those kind of things. I think Elixir is
Right.
a very good card to have in those kind of decks. So what's a card that you think people should play more often?
See, now you're outing me for not being a good deck builder. I don't know. I just don't think about those kind of things. I don't know. You know.
I just have cards that I've bought like 10 of because I used to play kitchen sink and
Right.
like standard adjacent things, legacy, whatever. So I have like, you know, like I said, I have 30 haunted cloaks. I have 10 elixir of immortalities. Like these are literally just things I can put in everything because I have so many of them. You know, so
This
that's why I do.
so this might be the wrong answer, but it's
Okay.
what's coming to mind for me. There, I'm not a big fan of tap lands, as I'm sure a lot of people would agree with, but
Mhm.
the tap lands I will always include, and I'm not talking about triumphs, obviously, but I will always include the one cost cycle lands. Just
Oh.
I love those because early game, you can usually afford, okay, if I gotta have it tapped, fine, right?
Mm,
But late game to just cycle through the deck real quick, again, people might not agree with that. I'm sure they'd have good reasons why, but for me, I'm like, I don't think it hurts to have it in a slot for a land because if I just don't need it late game, I can just draw a card real quick.
that's awesome. I actually think that's a fantastic answer.
Nice.
That's a
Yeah,
fantastic
I
answer.
usually don't see them too often, but I personally like them. My thought process could be all wrong, but
No, I think
it
it's
works
great.
for me, man. Yeah.
I
'Cause
anything that's dually functional is a good
yeah,
thing in my
and
opinion.
that's how I feel, and it just because the thing is I won't even include them, like, when you're building your deck, you're like, "Oh, how much do I have of this? How much do I have of that?" I don't even include them in my card draw, so it's just, like, extra.
Yep.
If if it's late game and I got it in my hand, just cycle it out real quick, draw a card, and
Yeah.
so I like including those.
Yeah.
Whether I think
People
more people should, I don't know, but I like them.
people love MDFCs. It's just a one-sided MDFC, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like it has both modes on the front. You can play it as a land or you can draw a card. Like what you know, it's I think I mean card draw is besides having enough mana to do your stuff. Card draw is the most powerful thing you can do in a game, right?
Exactly, and that's why for me, to me, it makes sense in my brain. It's like, if I draw one on turn, 2 or 3, okay, usually people are still setting up,
Yeah.
'Cause again, like, depends on, I usually don't play super high power, but I bet if I
Yeah.
was playing high power, then I probably wouldn't include them. But
Yeah.
for the levels I play at, I think they make sense.
Yeah, I know plenty of former modern players who play Commander now that love having them in their decks because literally, as long as they have like three lands in hand, if they have the cycle land, like they're getting their card draw after the first turn,
Yeah,
like they're
I do the
cycling
same.
immediately. Yeah, I think it makes a ton of sense. So I think that's a good shout. I like that one. Is there anything that you say in your play groups that isn't something that people say widely? Like, you know, there's a Savannah Unana, there's the Sad Robot, there's, you know, those kind of things that Steve, everyone knows. Is there something that you and your play group say that isn't as widely said in play groups?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay,
I think we say the typical,
the
Steve,
typical stuff.
Gary, all that. Yeah, all the Sad
Okay,
Robot,
Sad Robot.
all the typicals. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think of any that I don't hear anywhere else. Yeah,
Okay. I call him Sad Boy instead of Sad Robot. I don't know why.
nice.
I just call him Sad Boy because I'm like, oh, he's a sad boy. And then last question, and this one, this is just something that I find important. What are your hopes for yourself, for Magic, for your content? What is something, one or a couple things that you're very hopeful for to happen or to come about?
Nice. That is a great question. I feel like I kind of said it earlier, where
Yeah,
again, ultimately, so with Magic, it's just continuing to get to know people in the community and
yeah,
building the friendships. But as far as the content side, and ultimately, again, it's to bring people to the band. And
yeah,
I would like to see Planeswalker become more than what it is, which is just sort of when we have time kind of thing. And what that looks like, that'll be a conversation between Sozos and I. But
yep,
ultimately, that's what I would like, is to just get the band sort of momentum going again, and just sort of merge both together. It's been really kind of inspired and fun to see like Chad from Frozen Souls. He was at that
mhm,
artist booth signing his
yeah,
play mats, and then you had the I Prevail guys, Fit for a King. Obviously, these
mhm,
are bands that are far bigger than us, but that's
mhm,
okay. But getting to do what they were doing, and for me, it's like that would be a fun goal, like to be able to incorporate my music with Magic more in fun ways is sort of, I think, where I'm at right now. And to be honest, man, with music and me, it shifts all the time. Like, that's where the heart, you got to go with where the inspiration is. And I might go back to my science metal with Prime, and who knows? It's sort of just where the heart is in the moment. But
yeah,
as far as Magic content, you know, getting to keep that involved with the music will ultimately always be the goal.
yeah. Is there anything you hope for from WotC?
Yeah, chill the fuck out, guys. Fucking Jesus Christ. No, I don't know, man. Take better care of your own characters, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you on that one because
Yeah, respect and love what you've made a little bit
th-
more. Yeah.
this is probably a whole ass conversation for another pod between you and I, but their hot shotting of the Phyrexian storyline still bugs me to this day.
Yeah.
That's a whole ass another story for a whole ass another time. But
Yep. Yeah.
but Jason, this has been amazing. I thank you so much for being willing to do this, for being on with us, for being an amazing guest, and I really appreciate your time today.
Of course, I
Yeah.
appreciate the invite. This was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug? All the shout outs?
Check out Can I Play with Magic, hop in the streams, check out Planeswalker, second album coming someday. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And everyone, thank you for listening to Chatter Gang, a pod about magic and the gathering. Just remember, when despair tries to win, counter it with hope. And I hope you have a great day.